Hey everybody, this is Steve out in the shop again. I want to make a follow-up video on that 300 Farmall I drug in here a couple weeks back to just part out. I've got another 300 that I use, and I just bought this one here for a parts tractor. If you recall, I had made a video here a couple of weeks ago, and I just want to kind of bring you up to date on the progress I've made here. As you can see, I've taken a pretty good bit of stuff off since the last video. The inside of this thing was an absolute mess. Had a lot of rust on the inside. A lot of the back gears are rusted really bad. I think you can see that where the rear end sat in water. This bull gear, all these are rusted pretty bad. I did manage to save one bull gear. I have actually seen these. If you ever get in the rear end of one of these tractors, always check. But I've seen with a rivet, this is actually a two-part gear. And I have seen these rivets, which is all they are, they're giant rivets that get so worn that the inner hub will actually move inside, or within, I guess would be the way to put it, within the gear itself. So always check that. But anyway, this one, back end's pretty rusted. I am going to go ahead and break this apart and see if the spider gears are any good inside. I'll check that bearing too. Transmission is actually in really good shape. I'm going to save all this. There's some surface rust on it, but I ground it off or brushed it off. It doesn't go very far at all. So now I can't speak for the lower transmission, but I think it's in pretty good shape here too. The TA, I don't know if I can salvage that pressure plate. I don't imagine the clutch is any good, but I'm going to take it apart and see what kind of shape the TA is in. If nothing else, I'll use it for a core at some future date. I'm going to try to take, or once I take the engine off, I'm going to try to see what the pressure plate looks like. See if there's anything back there that's salvageable. I am going to pull this pulley off. I'm going to salvage this cover. I like to save these when I can. I have changed these because these break off inside. These are also, if you want to take an H and put live hydraulics in it, you can do that by changing the front cover. But now see my H, I've got an H over here that I put live hydraulics on. It had the standard H cover, but the pump that I got, I took this off of another a parts tractor, a parts H. This was already on it. It had this adapter plate that came with the pump. I don't know if you can see that really well. But anyway, it was an adapter deal. It fit right on here. I didn't change that. I don't use this tractor enough to worry too much. I mean, I use it occasionally, but not very much. I'll put it to you like that. I didn't worry about trying to find a heavy duty cam gear and all that nonsense, because like I say, this tractor is more of a sentimental tractor. It's the first tractor I ever owned back in the 80s. It was gone for 30 some odd years, and I found it in Camden, Tennessee a couple years back. It was in almost as bad a shape as this. Excuse me. The engine was seized up. I had to rebuild it. So the tractor, it doesn't get used. I mean, it's just, it's a sentimental thing. 1984-ish, I think, is when I had bought it. I had it a couple years, sold it, and it stayed gone until just a couple years ago. So, but anyway, there's a lot of these parts are, you see, you got the same basic block in a 300 as you do in an H. There are some changes. But if you're smart, you put a 300 engine in your H and you don't tell your buddies, and you outpull all of them. Change the flywheel and the front covers and stuff. Anyway, you can see here, I pulled off an awful lot. The bull pinions and stuff are good in this tractor. I got both of these. This in here, this particular one has some pitting. This is actually a seal surface right here. I will check that. I don't think the seal will be in the pitted area. I think the seal is going to be right back here. I could be wrong about that, but I wouldn't be afraid to JB weld that and sand it back down smooth. I don't know if there's anything else that I haven't covered from that other video, but you can see I pretty well got the front taken off. The bolster, I had actually wanted to keep the bolster. Let me walk over here. I wanted to keep that, but all 8 bolts broke off in that thing. And I'm not going to spend the rest of my retirement trying to get those bolts out of there and or drill it and tap it and all that baloney. So I wasn't real careful when I took it apart, needless to say. All right, well, that's just kind of an update video. When I get this engine off of here, I may or may not make another one. I don't know. But we'll see. All right, thanks for watching.